Good.
Uncle Ben, tell me something. You are giving very interesting tips here about pronunciation and so on. Do you think that having a British accent gives you an advantage on teaching pronunciation?
That's a thought-provoking question indeed.
Yeah.
For instance, I wouldn't say an advantage, but this will depend on what you think an advantage is.
Olá pessoal, sejam mais uma vez bem-vindos ao canal Poliglota. Bernardo Silvino aqui, o vosso boy na Ducanza. É isso mesmo, vocês estão a ver aqui o Uncle Ben, ele voltou, porque, conforme vocês viram, quem viu o último vídeo, sabe que o vídeo não terminou e muitos de vocês reclamaram, parece que o vídeo não terminou, o Uncle Ben ainda tinha muita coisa a dizer. É verdade sim, a nossa conversa foi mais do que aquilo, mas tivemos algumas questões e o vídeo não terminou, então eu trouxe aqui o Uncle Ben para terminarmos a conversa, ok? Uncle Ben, welcome back, guy.
Thank you. It feels good to be back.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
You know, mi casa su casa, as
Yeah.
as Spanish people usually say.
Okay.
Yeah, mi casa su casa.
So, how are you doing, guy? After the last interview, how are you going? How are things?
Yeah, things have been pretty intense. I've
Okay.
been getting lots of messages.
Yes,
As you know,
sir.
I'm an English therapist. It's usually public knowledge that an English therapist must receive lots of messages. But
Okay.
when you invited me to your podcast, man, it was like we didn't know anything about that guy. So they decided to know plenty about me, what I do as a professional. So many of them decided to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Wow.
And there they found lovely, or they stumbled upon lovely English content.
Wow, that's amazing. I feel glad to know
Yeah,
that. You know?
it's so good.
Wow.
So good, yeah, because they discovered my job, my responsibility through that very episode we had a month ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's good. If I remember, in the last interview, we were talking about intonation modulation.
Of
that
course.
was where the video stopped.
Yeah, I think it was there was an exercise we were practicing. I do not know whether our audience still remembers it. We were approaching how our voice falls
Yes,
at the end
yes.
of the sentence. So
Yes, because I do believe that people, everyone wants to be a good public
Speaker, of course.
Yeah, so you were sharing your tips.
For instance,
Precise.
one of the ways, or one of the most effective ways for you to become an amazing public speaker, you've got to know your pace as a speaker. Do not speak too slow and do not speak too fast. You need to create some sort of balance. People might say, but if you kind of go slow, you will sound boring. For this very reason, you don't have to develop a monotonous speech. Make sure that what you're doing captivates people around you. Say, oh my God, look at that information he shared with us, because of the tone you're using. So your voice matters. And I don't know if you know this, but there are people out there, they consider me as a voice coach, because I do have a calm tone whenever I approach people. I do have an approachable voice, and if I'm talking to my audience, I make sure I use the proper tone to make everything interesting. If it's interesting, I can make it a lot more interesting than the conversation or the activity already is. That's what I do.
Wow. Have you ever faced any funny situation because of your British accent and your voice?
Well, that's such an interesting question, and
It
it's
must be well answered.
you got it.
I got it, guy.
Yeah, that's the problem is many speakers, my followers on Facebook, before they met me in person, they always had this image of Uncle Ben. They thought Uncle Ben was a jacked or a giant person like Goliath. But no, I'm not a Goliath. I'm more like a David, the person who threw a stone. I'm the one who threw the stone.
Okay.
So when they saw me for the first time, they couldn't believe their eyes. And no, that's not Uncle Ben. I thought
that voice.
No, that voice.
No, it's not, doesn't fit.
It does not fit that body. That was what they said about me. But the problem was they were not adjusted to that reality. They would always see me behind the cameras. So I gave them the opportunity to see me in person, to see how Uncle Ben operates in person. So they would always slap me, knock me. No, Uncle Ben, come on. That's not who you are. So if we want to make sure that's your real voice, so we're going to put your voice to the test. So what are you doing there? That's my voice. So I was tested by those guys inadvertently. I didn't know that they were testing me because they decided to catch me off guard, and they gave me an hour. Said we will have to communicate in English for an hour. Let's see if your voice will alter. Okay. We started talking, and one of them said, "Oh yeah, that's really his voice. Nothing has changed. So that's really him." So they thought that the amount of hours communicating with them would have changed my tone, my voice, the way I communicate with people. But they noticed that none of those features have changed, and I remained being the exact same person with that kind of voice.
Well, because I think I've read some comments on your Facebook like this. No, I don't believe this guy can stand a conversation for an hour. I can't believe it's fake. It's pretending to speak like this.
That's it. Yeah. And the second problem was pertaining to what was that? Pertaining to machines. Mm-hmm. So now we live in a world where technology has significantly advanced or improved. So they had this crazy idea. They thought that my videos were dubbed. Like, that was not me. I was simply dubbing the videos. Like, I was using someone else's voice. That's what they thought to me.
Really?
So that's not Uncle Ben. For this, when I decided to hold a workshop, an English workshop, everybody was excited. They wanted to be part of that workshop to make sure that that's the real Uncle Ben, that there's nobody behind them, someone who actually speaks for them. Mm-hmm. So when I did it, they say, "Oh my God, that's really Uncle Ben." So I have to stop being skeptic about his language skills. So they don't doubt that anymore.
Uncle Ben, we all know that it's your responsibility to overcome our pronunciation problems.
Indeed.
We know that. But tell me something. Why people love so much the way you pronounce the word responsibility? What is different, guy? What do you imply in this word when you pronounce?
I think there is something about this word. Can you go back to that word? How do you pronounce that word?
Responsibility.
Look, I don't know how I did it, but I think it's because I respect the stress.
Okay.
So in order for you to pronounce this word correctly,
after that, speak about stress.
I'll talk about stress indeed, but it's not about the mental fatigue. Like, oh, I'm so stressed out. No, it's not about that
because
stress.
Because I've seen many people on Facebook, responsibility. I said, my God, what is different?
So in order for you to pronounce this word correctly, you've got to think about the rhythm, the musicality, the cadence. So it's responsibility. So if you look at this word,
my God. Can you repeat that?
Let's go. Responsibility.
Oh my God. It's like a song. It's like a song,
of course. You've got to think about that, like responsibility. So we've got the primary and the secondary stress.
Okay.
The primary and the secondary stress. So in order for you to know that, the primary stress is stronger than the secondary stress. So the secondary stress is placed above or below, not above, but below a syllable, whereas the primary stress is placed above and before a specific syllable. So responsibility.
Let's try to exercise that. I won't sound like Uncle Ben. Responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility.
Responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility.
Stress.
Yeah, stress. So
is the key.
It's been as I say, everybody knows this. I'm an English therapist, and it's my responsibility to help you overcome your language problems.
Oh my God, my God.
So going back to stress, you wanted me to talk about
I want
stress.
to talk about that
Yes.
because I think it helps us to understand the pronunciation of each words.
Of course. So
Yes.
stress is a super segmental feature. So super segmental feature has to do with intonation, rhythm, feature that go beyond sound.
Okay.
So what is stress actually? So how can we approach, or how can we go about it? Stress is the pronunciation of a syllable with more energy, or you pronounce it stronger or higher than other syllables, like the unstressed syllables.
Okay.
So let me give you an example. We've got the word important.
Important.
So what am I putting more energy?
Important.
Good. Poor. So the stress is in poor. So
Yeah.
important. But there are a few rules. If you want to master stress,
Good,
there are some rules Lana should know. For instance, stress verbs are usually stressed on verbs are usually stressed on the second syllable. We've got the verb consider.
Consider. Okay?
The stress
Consider.
went on the second syllable.
See.
Consider. We've got the verb to realize. Like, so we have
realize.
Yeah, not realize. We don't say realize, but realize.
Realize.
So can you think of a verb where the stress goes on the second syllable?
Let me see. No, love, no. There is only two. Let me see.
So love, not love.
No. Wow, it doesn't come in my mind any kind of verbs.
We've got increase.
Increase.
So,
okay.
increase. There's something that cannot be forgotten. If you think about the word, if you think about
what can't be forgotten.
So, for instance, we are going about about verbs.
Yeah.
But if you misplace the stress on a specific syllable, you change the meaning completely, or the meaning changes. So let's think about the word increase, which is a verb. So if you say increase, I want to increase my vocabulary, and Uncle Ben is hands down the right person to help me increase my vocabulary. But the remaining question is, what if we change the stress, or if we change the position? So the meaning will change. Increase is a noun.
Increase
is a noun. Increase is a verb. So there's been an increase. There's been an increase. That means something has increased.
Okay.
So there's been an increase. And we can also talk about contract. Noun. How about the verb?
Contract.
Good. So we got contract and contract.
Wow.
Contract.
I didn't know about it,
And there's something else I want you to know. We've got present.
Present.
That's noun. How about the verb?
Present.
You got it. So present.
Present.
But there's also something I want to.
I want to present you something.
Yeah, I want to present. Like I want to present, not I want to present something. No. So you don't need to be stressed in order to stress words correctly in English.
Present. Verbs are commonly
stressed on the second syllable.
The second syllable.
Yeah, second or third syllable. That's how.
All verbs?
No.
Are there rules?
There are exceptions.
Okay.
Yeah, there are exceptions to for those rules. Or to this rule. Let's think of the word. Because of this rule, teachers, please, whenever teaching something, you've got to make sure that you also present the exceptions. The exceptions are rather important.
Because when I'm learning something, I like to read the rules. But it's important to read the exceptions. Otherwise, you'll be making. For instance,
there are people they say when we talk about countries, we can't add, or we can't use the definite article there. We cannot say the Angola. Okay, we can't say the Angola. But there are some countries used with there, like the United States of America.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's an exception.
Yes.
So we don't say the Angola, we say Angola, but how about America? No, I'm not talking about the continent, I'm talking about the country. So we use there.
The
So,
United States
so
of
going
America.
back to the stress thing, it's I know everybody is willing to learn something from this. It's
Yes.
it will help you communicate better. So, for this very reason, we see learners, English learners, or even teachers. Why do they mispronounce the synonym of the verb to end? Do you know the synonym of the verb to end?
To end.
Yeah.
Finish.
Good. So
Yeah.
some learners say finish.
Yes.
They stress the second syllable because they
You
know
know something?
they know
I
it's a
had
verb.
problem with the words with the verb finish.
Okay.
I had problems. I used to pronounce finish
So
for a long time ago.
for a long time.
Yeah,
So
finish. And now I know that it's finish. And
Tell me, I want to know when it
sometimes I
changed.
struggle. Sometimes I struggle. No, not finish. 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 Why did
Yeah.
I say finish? When
Yeah, that's it.
sometimes when I'm like I'm not paying attention, I say finish, and I say, oh my God, it's not.
yeah, that's it. So we say finish.
Yeah, finish.
I want to finish my homework. I
Yes.
want to finish my homework. I want to finish that project on time. So there's also
Finish.
one more verb
This verb, the stress is on the first.
on the first syllable. So we also have that verb to happen.
To happen.
Happen. Like it happened. Yeah, it happened a few days ago. Not it happened. No, yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is I think that's all I had to say about stress. Yeah.
Wow, good. Uncle Ben, I've been watching your videos on Facebook. You've been sharing many words and pronunciation tips, and I wonder how this guy choose the words and pronunciation tips to share in his videos. How do you do that, guys?
Oh.
Because you are there every day with new words, new pronunciation tips. Like you don't stop. I say, how this guy choose the words?
I might say that I'm not that kind of person who exposes people weaknesses in a sort of bad way. I can expose you without you knowing.
Good.
I will go behind your back. So if I realize that there is a significant number of teachers making mistakes or mispronouncing lots of words in English, as an English therapist, it's my responsibility to help them. But the problem is, I'm an English therapist. There are people out there, people on the other side, they have problems communicating, using the language, but they don't consult me. They don't call me. They don't tell me, Uncle Ben, I need your help.
Yes.
But whenever I watch their videos, I realize that, oh my God, they need to work on this. They need to work on their pronunciation. They need to work on their grammar. So what do? If I realize that there are words that are being mispronounced, so I stick to those words and create content.
Very intelligent.
That's what I do. I observe everything around me. So if you're that person, that teacher who mispronounces a certain word, so when you stumble upon one of my videos, you say, "Oh my God, I mispronounced this word yesterday,"
and I did the video.
and you need to be premature. Otherwise, you think that, "Oh, Uncle Ben, Uncle Ben, please mind your flipping business."
Yeah.
They might tell you this, mind your flipping
Get out of
business.
my way.
Yeah, get out of my way. But that's not the case at all, because you're an English teacher, and I need to do everything I possibly can to motivate you to work a bit harder. That's what I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I make teachers work harder.
That's
if you're an
great.
English teacher,
Yeah.
and you used to have problems understanding native speakers, you don't understand films, please do not hesitate. I also want to talk about 3 reasons people or learners don't understand native speakers or even advanced speakers. I'm not a native speaker, but there are people who find it difficult to understand me because they are rather limited. And I also would like to talk
Is
about
that
it.
because of your accent?
I will talk about this. It's not just about the accent. I'll state the first thing is teachers expose their students to reading. They confuse reading with speaking.
Yeah.
Reading is not
It's
speaking.
not speaking. And I think it's the first thing that the students learn. but speaking is different.
No, that's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, tell me something. Between speaking and reading, which one did you get first when you were a child?
When a child?
What?
Speaking.
Speaking indeed.
Yeah,
So for this very reason, if you're teaching a language to somebody, your student is compared to a child, to somebody who does not have teeth, somebody whose tongue is not fully muscled. So you need to do everything you possibly can to help that kid develop a speaking skill, speaking ability. That's your responsibility as a parent. So we don't compel our kids to read if they can't speak.
Yes, sir.
So you need to read, not read. You have to speak first, and then you will learn how to read. There are people who can speak, but they can't read. But if you can't speak, you can't read. So let me give you an example. We've got him, like I want to talk to him, or did you talk to him? You are reading. Like did you talk to him? Yes, I did, and we went to a pharmacy and we bought this and that. If you were in America, you were there. You saw how fast they spoke.
God.
They were not reading.
They were not reading.
They were speaking. So
Yeah.
they would not say, "Did you talk to him? Did you talk to him?"
That's why you have to watch podcasts like this. Real conversation. That's
Yeah,
why you have to watch
That's
it.
it. You've got to watch it because
Yeah.
we are communicating naturally. So it's did you talk to him? In fast speech, the H often loses its sound. The H.
Okay.
We've got the word. We've got home. The word home.
Hop.
I need to go back home. You might hear people say, advanced speakers, they might say, I want to go back home. I want to
Yes.
go back home. Back home.
Back
Back
home,
home
yeah.
becomes
The
back
H
home.
is dead,
Back
yeah.
home. Back home. Back home. Or if you are that person who is into the American pronunciation, you might say, I want to go back home. I want to go back home. Back home. So if you're not used to this, you won't understand this. You say, oh my God, Uncle Ben is exaggerating. So Uncle Ben is not speaking the real English. No, you're not exposed to speaking. You're exposed to reading. That's why you find it difficult to understand us. Pronunciation matters. And the second thing is, there are words when they are separated, they are pronounced differently. So when we bring them together, they are pronounced differently. Let me give you an example. We've got the word cup,
Yes.
and we've got the word board. Cupboard. So different words. We've got cup. You can hold a cup. You can have your tea, your coffee. Using a cup, and you can write a few things on the board. So I even asked you. Did you get yourself a board? Yeah, that was the very question I asked you when I got here. So board. But if you bring these two words together, the meaning changes, and the pronunciation changes completely. So we will not pronounce the P, and that long sound, which is the sound we find in the word board, disappeared. We will pronounce it with a schwa sound. And the schwa sound is one of the most complex, one of the most intricate sounds in the English world. It is a sound that can be found anywhere. It's mainly in unstressed syllables. So if a syllable is we're going to talk about that too. So when a syllable is unstressed, so we find the schwa sound. So we've got it's not cupboard, but it becomes cupboard. Cupboard. Yeah, cupboard. we find cupboard in the kitchen.
Very fun.
Yeah, cupboard.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very indeed.
Cupboard.
Yeah, cupboard. Cupboard.
Wow.
And I don't know. I had to. This is my notebook.
Yeah.
That is I usually when I have a client, when a client decides to swing by my office, I always take notes, and I want to share the problem with you too. But I will not expose their name. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So let's talk about them. We're still talking about why learners can't understand us or can't understand native speakers. Mm-hmm. We've got them. I was with them. Sometimes That's not how them sounds in real conversations.
Yes, sir.
For instance, what did you get from them? It can be, what did you get from them? What did you get from them? What did you get from them?
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't know any of this. Would you get me? Would you understand Uncle Ben if you didn't know any of this?
No.
That's the reason you don't get me. You don't you don't watch when you watch movies. So you can't understand them because of this.
Do you think that watching native speakers through videos, podcasts, movies can help learners?
Of course, it can help. It's good to watch movies because movies, the actors are trained to speak in a certain way. So they've got speech coaches. Like me, I'm a speech coach too.
So you have been training.
I've been helping people communicate better. I even had a student from Namibia who she's an actress. She wanted to work on her accent because she had to take on this big role. She wanted to sound a bit more British, so she chose me. I needed to. I had to help her. So when you watch movies, it will depend on the genre you're watching. So if you're watching a genre full of slang words, it might not be good because as a non-native speaker, you've got to really care about your speech because you're not living in an English-speaking country. You're living in Angola. Why are you learning English? You're learning English to get job opportunities. You want to maybe work in one of your dream companies, and the only option or the only way for you to work for that company is if you could or if you have a great command of English. So you don't have to go there by saying, "Oh no, I want to imagine about it," all that kind of thing. That's not
in real life conversation. Doesn't work.
It does not work. That's not acceptable, and we find students who confuse speaking. As I said a few minutes ago, students confuse reading with speaking. But now I will change that. I will paraphrase it. Students confuse singing with speaking.
Yeah.
Do you know that singer Adele?
Adele. I got nothing.
That's
nothing.
it. If you focus on her singing, her singing is nothing compared to the way she speaks. It's different. If I want a singer to sing about responsibility, I want, like, you need to sing, please, a song about responsibility. I need you to do this. If he focuses on the way I pronounce the word responsibility, he might not create the proper rhythm for a song. It might not be good.
No.
We've got the word nobody.
Responsibility. what a sound, my God.
Yeah, it would sound monotonous. Nobody will listen to that. And the second thing is, we've got the word nobody. We've got nobody or nobody.
Yeah.
In songs, if you say nobody
wanna see us together. Nobody wanna.
Yeah, nobody wants. It does not sound right. So we can't confuse this. And the second thing is we confuse the I and the E sound. We confuse them. For instance, we have I think I do not know if you are into brands. We've got Nike. They've got this slogan, just do it. That's how learners pronounce it. But if an advanced speaker were to read that or to say that, he would have said that differently. Just do it. Not do it. Yeah. Do it. Can you repeat after me?
Just do it.
Do it. And we've got seat and sit. Seat, sit. So this is a seat.
Okay.
What am I doing? What are we doing? We're sitting. So sitting. So the verb has a short sound, sit. So when we were a bit younger, we used to watch American movies, and we would always hear people say, "Shut up, my patch."
Yeah, shut up, my patch.
we didn't know what they were talking about. It was all confusing.
Yeah,
it was all Greek to us.
Yeah.
So the problem is,
love it.
this is the problem we also have in Angola. When you don't expose your students to listening, even if you tell them it's work,
Yeah.
they might not understand work. They might end up uttering sounds you're not saying.
Yeah.
So shut them up, but that was not the word. But my question is, can you decode this? I don't know whether. Please don't be pissed. But it's a lesson. Our friend Nado, he will have to say this, but please don't get us wrong. So we've got shut up pitch. I want you to decode it.
YouTube will punish me.
No, you just say it.
Shut up, pet.
Yeah, you just say you will not pronounce that completely. You just said the B word. No, that's the B word. We've got the B word there. The B word.
The B word.
The B word. So
Okay.
we've got the B word, and we will not say that because it's offensive and due to YouTube settings, and they have some
rules
and policy that we need to
Policy
abide
that
by.
we have to
so
follow.
Indeed, but we can say that word. We can say a word where we cannot be where we cannot be punished for. So we've got a female of dog. A female of dog is not a beach. It's not beach, but bitch.
Bitch.
Yeah, it's bitch. So we have sit.
This guy's going to kill me. Bitch.
Sit. That's
Sit,
why you don't
sit.
say you are like, oh my God, please son, don't be stupid. No, we don't say stupid. We say stupid.
Stupid.
Don't be stupid.
Uncle Ben, tell me something. Stupid. You're going to kill me, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. Hey guy, do you have a bed for me right there? Do you have a bed for me?
No, I'm not killing anybody today.
Beach? Sorry, it's what?
Beach.
Beach.
We've got beach with a long sound. So beach with a long sound, a place
where
where you find sand. People
Yeah,
people
we're
go
going to
swim.
swim,
Yeah. It's more
And-
for entertainment purposes.
Yes.
So different to bitch, which is a
Bitch.
female of dog.
Bitch.
So bitch.
So you
bitch.
mean
it's a
the
controversial word.
stress, the difference, the stress or the sound, the E and
the sound.
A.
We've got E and E,
E
and E, and
beach.
we've got the
Beach.
word
Beach.
Spanish. We don't say Spanish. It's Spanish.
Spanish.
Just speak Spanish.
Just speak Spanish.
We don't say English. It's English.
English.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be British right now. I'm gonna be a British.
No, there's not only about the British English.
nothing to do
even
with British
even Americans
English.
they do it. For
English.
instance,
Can you repeat English?
English.
English.
In the do you know that song?
English.
Think about it. Think about it. We don't say think about it. We say
Yeah, think about it.
think about it.
Think about
Please,
it.
can you please think about it? Think about it.
Can you think about it, baby?
Good. You don't say think about it. No, but think about it.
Think about it. About
That's
it.
why we don't say how is it going. We say how's it going.
How's it going?
How's it going?
How's it going?
So how's it going?
to-
Even we don't say seek. Seek is a verb. Seek verb.
Yeah.
And if you're not feeling well,
Seeking a new girl.
yeah, you are seeking, indeed.
Yeah.
But if you use it as an adjective, or you're not feeling well,
Yeah.
you will say not sick but sick. Good.
Uncle Ben, tell me something. You are giving very interesting tips here about pronunciation and so on. Do you think that having a British accent gives you an advantage on teaching pronunciation?
That's a thought-provoking question, indeed.
Yeah.
For instance, I wouldn't say an advantage, but this will depend on what you think an advantage is. But it can come up with perks. It can come up with perks because there are people who are into the British pronunciation. So when they watch the BBC World News, they go bonkers. Oh my God! I like to speak just like they do. So, and when they find somebody who is not a native speaker, who sounds a bit British, so they get captivated by it. So that's the one. So
Yeah.
he's definitely the right person to teach me the sounds of English. But please, I want you guys to understand this. It's not necessary to sound British in order to start teaching the sounds of English. No. Even if you don't sound British, as long as you pronounce words correctly and you're intelligible, and that's the most important thing. That's what matters at the end of the day. It's not only about sounding British.
Okay.
I do sound British, but I don't recommend people sounding British to start teaching the sounds of English. It's like you want to be perfect in order to start teaching. No. You can start teaching even if you're not perfect, even if you're not too good. You've got Uncle Ben, so make sure you pay me. You can,
It's important.
Of course, you've got to pay me.
It's important.
Because there's a in our center, in my company, Olia Futura, I'm a CEO. I do have a teaching company. So Olia Futura is the only company that teaches interpretation, translation, and pronunciation. So we find there are lots of companies out there, teaching companies. They teach translation, but they don't teach interpretation. They don't teach pronunciation. And there are schools, they teach their students learn how to communicate in English, but they don't feel sufficiently good. They can speak English, but then they decide to go to our school to work on their pronunciation. So if you want that to finish, if you want to eradicate this problem, please consult Olia Futuro, my company. Uncle Ben is going to guide you through teaching pronunciation, so that your student might not have this problem of when they through with the English course and they still decide to go to a teacher to work on their pronunciation. I know that learning is an endless process, but it's not good to always repeating the exact same thing. When you study English, you have to make sure you learn it well. That you pronounce word correctly, that your English is good. And if you don't want your students to keep going after Uncle Ben, you need to hire me now. I will come to your company and I will help your teachers. I will help them master the sounds of English. If they master the sounds of English, I may help them teach it.
Why did you choose to teach teachers and not teaching people to speak English?
Well, wow. That's I was about to say
such
an interesting question, and it must be well answered.
Yeah.
So there are many people out there. They want to study with me, but there's something that you must know, that I'm only one. I'm not two.
Yes.
So imagine if everybody in Angola wants to study with me. What will become of me?
You're gonna be. It's a bomb, you know.
Of course, I will go crazy. So,
yeah.
What do I need to do? I need to help teachers. I need to increase the level of quality throughout the country. I need to make sure teachers are teaching well. I need to make sure teachers are pronouncing words correctly. I'll give them training. There are lots of teachers on the other side. I don't understand those people who are teachers. I'm not trying to criticize them. It's just a warning. Please, it's a warning. Please don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I just want to help because, it's my responsibility. Mm-hmm. Since you're not knocking on my door, I need to pour my heart out while I'm still here. I'm doing this. Since you don't knock on my door, that's where I can talk about you guys, teachers. So, how is it possible to go on a pitch without training, without talking to your coach? Let's suppose you're a football player. You're not Messi, because Messi, even if Messi does not train, the coach knows how good Messi is. But you're not. The coach knows that you still need to work on your footballing skills.
Yes, sir.
And you skip trainings. You don't train as much, and you expect to be on the pitch. Nobody will let you on the pitch.
No.
Even if they give you the opportunity or an opportunity to go on the pitch, you will suck at playing football, and you will not even score any goals, or you can cause many own goals, and eventually you'll be fired, sacked, and that's not good. So there is something I created in order to help you understand this in a better way. When preparing content, videos, make sure that every word you share is correct. The pronunciation, grammar,
Teachers.
You're an English teacher. Nobody, even in Portuguese, we go to school and we've got Portuguese teachers. If our Portuguese teacher mispronounces a word or uses a bad grammar, we go, oh my God, he's a Portuguese teacher. Why is he doing this? Because the way people judge you as a teacher is different the way people judge you as a simple speaker. So make sure the content are clean, are immaculate before posting them. So if you're not certain, you can send me the videos on WhatsApp, and you will pay not a significant amount of money that you have to pay. I will watch the video. I'll make sure the video is clean, and I'll tell you what you're doing wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more question. I don't know. Maybe it's the last. If my mind. Okay, let's go right to the question.
Okay, go right to the question.
Uncle Ben, did you have some, kind of habits during your school time that helped you to become so fluent? It's like this guy is a nerd. Because I know that they used to call you Mr. Dictionary.
Yeah, okay.
Did you have some kind of habits and people look at you, this guy is strange, and these habits helped you to become so fluent as you are?
The listening skill.
The listening skills.
So the listening helped me a lot. I created a theory. That theory says listening is a continuous activity, or is the outcome of speaking effectively. So we speak what we listen or what we heard before. We are the result of interaction, of our social interactions with other people. So the way I speak, perhaps it was based on someone else's speech. So when you listen to something, teachers say you simply have to listen. Get a huge amount of listening in order to become better, or to get better at English. But that's not enough. Listening is not enough. You need to listen actively. You cannot afford to be a passive listener. I was an active listener. I would listen by taking notes. If I'm listening to a podcast, I would always pause the podcast and take notes, focus on pronunciation, focus on the words I don't know. I've never had this word, so I need to be closer to my dictionary, so I need to learn this word. That's how that word is pronounced. So listening is what helped me, and listening gave me something that many learners don't have. Yeah, I dream. Most of my dreams are in English.
Oh, you dream in English? Oh my God, this guy dreams in English. Wow.
Yeah, because of the exposure.
Yeah.
So I don't live in an English speaking country.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't live in an English speaking country, you need to create conditions for that.
Yes.
So exposure, I exposed myself to the language. Everybody knows that I was not exposed to the English language growing up, so I had to create that condition. So I listened to English as much as I could.
In the school, did you write in Portuguese or in English?
Look, that was insane.
Yeah.
Sometimes my classmate, they would want me to get my notebook, because they want to read something they missed.
Yeah.
Maybe the teacher was reading really fast, and they couldn't understand some pieces of information. So whenever I gave them my notebook, they would go, "Oh my God, are you writing in English?" And when I did, oh my God, I thought I was writing in Portuguese. Even my I think I had a teacher. Yeah. She was not my English teacher.
Yeah.
I think she was my Portuguese teacher. She was grading my paper.
And
she said, "Zola, what on earth are you doing? I can't understand that this is English." And I was like, "Oh my God,
I'm sorry, teacher.
I'm sorry," because that happened because I was too addicted to the language that even numbers, psychology, all these subjects, I study them in English. So English go so drilled through my mind that that nobody could possibly understand or fathom why I was doing that.
And
But I
actually,
had a reason to do that. That's one of the reasons I became Uncle Ben,
wow.
an English therapist.
How is it? Too close. Okay, guys, this is too close right now. How is it to be Uncle Ben?
It's too difficult to be me
Yeah.
because I've got friends on the other side. They think I've become arrogant, patronizing, but no,
my
I haven't
God.
become patronizing. The problem is, I give them my number. They've got my number as my friends, my childhood friends, but they don't understand that I do receive lots of messages and I call them whenever I can. But the problem is, I'm an online teacher. I'm always close to the computer, and I do find some time to hang out with friends, to hang out with my family. I do everything I can to sort of have my my personal life or enjoy my life on my personal days. But they fail to understand that I do receive lots of messages, and they want me to talk to them 24/7.
Oh
I
my
can't
God,
do
You
that.
can't.
I'm a human being. I'm not a machine. I won't get when you're available. Perhaps when I'm available, you're not available.
That's
So, but there are people, friends who understand me. Friends like you okay. If Uncle Ben does not pick up or answer the call, it's because it's busy. But there are friends, they don't understand that if you don't answer the phone, that means you have been patronizing and you think you're rich, you are making a killing, and you no longer care about them. No, I do care about my community. I care about Angola. Otherwise, I wouldn't be there on Facebook posting all these important or valuable lessons. So I do it because I do care about my people. I care about Angola. And, I don't merely help Angolans. I help people from Mozambique too. People from Mozambique, people from South Africa. They have English as their native language, but I still help them. They want to improve their pronunciation. Some of them are not very, very proud of how they sound, and they would like to better their communicative skills, so I do help them. In Asia, oh my God, in Asia, there are lots of people who know Uncle Ben in Asia because I helped a significant number of people in that continent, like on that continent, Asia.
Okay, Uncle Ben. Thank you very much, Uncle Ben. And as you say that you care about Angolan guys, I'm going to invite you. We have I don't know if I call a program here in our channel. That's called the Aprender.
Yeah.
Where guys like you who cares about Angolan come and share knowledge. Aprender.
Okay.
Yes, we will have there different teachers, guys teaching, giving some tips of different languages like Ubuntu, French, English.
Wow.
And I want you to be there because I know that you care about Angolan. I want you to be there. It's a challenge for you. I want you to be there, sharing your knowledge to the people in the channel.
Don't worry.
Can we sign this? Can we make this deal?
Of course we can, man.
We can make it.
So my word is my bond. We can do it.
Okay,
so
thank
my
you.
responsibility has become yours.
Thank you very much. Pessoal, tá aqui o Uncle Ben, convidado agora para fazer parte do Aprenda Com. Subscrevam o canal, se não vão perder o Aprenda Com. Teremos lá muitos episódios fixos no Aprenda Com. Teremos professores de Ubuntu, francês, inglês, a partilharem muitas dicas rápidas. E o Uncle Ben assume aqui o compromisso de fazer parte do Aprenda Com. Então, we're together, bro.
So, if you find this video to be interesting, let me know. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, guy.